Hola y bienvenidos al curso de Programming on Python de IEI High School. En los siguientes videos hablaremos sobre temas necesarios para poder entender y trabajar con el lenguaje de programación más popular del mundo. Procederemos a crear algoritmos y cómo aplicarlos en entornos comprensibles. Así que sin más preámbulos, comencemos. So, why Python? Python is easy to use. It is the easiest language that you can learn because it's a combination of many different languages. It's also one of the most used standard programming languages in the world. Python is used basically for everything. It's used on artificial intelligence, automation, big data, applications, etc., etc. Now, it's an enhanced language. That means that it has many different things that other languages don't. So it would be easier, and you will see how easy it would be to use this language compared to others like JavaScript or C++. And it's the most popular, as I said, nowadays. All right. Now, before we go to the first lesson, first things first, we have to first download Python, okay? So you guys have to go to python.org, and from there, you could just go to the download link and download the version for your computer. If you have Windows, Mac, Linux, it works on everything basically, all right? So the first thing you have to do is download it, and then you already have Python installed on your computer. That would be easy to see. For example, if you enter to a command window, you just type Python. Oh, sorry, I misspelled that. All right. There your computer will tell you that once you have downloaded that, it's already installed on your computer, okay? And you could just start working on Python from here if you would like, but I wouldn't recommend it, at least at the beginning, because it's a little bit difficult, right? There you go. All right. We will just then download PyCharm, which is an IDE, which is also something that you have to always use for, a concatenation of different languages. For example, you could use the IDEs to install not only Python, but other software. And this reads every software, and it makes it easier for you to just join different projects together. So now you could just go to the Descarga Gratis link, and you will be given two different tools. So you have to download PyCharm EDU. That's the free version. The other one is the professional version, but we don't need that right now. So we could just work with this one. Now, it will take you a few minutes to download. It's not very heavy. It's less than a gigabyte, I guess. 1.5 gigabytes on hard drive. All right, that's not much. Nowadays you have games that are like 50 gigabytes or 100 gigabytes. So it would be enough. All right, so once we have this, first thing we have to do is just open it. Okay, it may take a a few seconds because it's an IDE, and IDEs have index files which are big for programs and algorithms. So let's just give it a few seconds, okay? Now, for instance, you could just, once you download this, you will be able to open just a file and a new project. Now, you could just call your project anything, but you could just call it, I don't know, maybe we could just say EAE Python. All right. Okay. Now leave everything as default. No need to do anything else. Okay, this may take a few seconds to create a virtual environment. So just on the meantime, I would like to let you know that Python is also used on special effects for movies. It's used on YouTube. It's used on Dropbox and some of the most popular applications nowadays. Okay. All right. So while this is installing, I would like to show you comments window. Now the first thing you have to learn is to display messages for your algorithms, because it's not something that many people will understand. So maybe the comments will give people a better understanding of what they are in front of. Okay, so we use comments to add notes to our code. It says good comments explain the hows and whys, not what the code does. All right, that should be reflected in the code itself. So what is your interpretation of the language? How you say it, it may be different from you than any other people, because you could do the same code many different ways. Just like you could say something in many different words with different expressions, you know, so it's the same with code. Now we use comments to add reminders to yourself or other developers, or also explain your assumptions and the reasons you have written code in a certain way. So in order to make a code, we have the numbers sign right there. So it doesn't interfere with your code. All right, let's see how this works. So the first thing we have to do, let's see, you just call this my first code. All right. You know what? Let's just put a smiley face on it. All right. So codes don't interfere with your, comments won't interfere with your code. Let's see why. Let's start by making the first code, the first line of code that you will probably ever, the first line that you will do. All right. And this is what everybody does. Trust me. So you put print. When you put print, it means that a message will be displayed on the console, okay? You put quotations, you could put single or double quotation, doesn't matter. I will explain later what's the difference between the two of them, all right? Hello world, all right? And when we press play right here, when we press play, if you click it, the console window opens and it will show the message, hello world. So believe it or not, that's your first line of code. There you go. You have already done something. Okay, so let's try to put a comment so you know the idea behind comments. My first line of code. right, there you go. Perfect. Now, there's also some other comments that you could use. For instance, you could put 3 quotation marks. All right. And this will, it will automatically create the other 3 quotations, right? So you don't have to even worry about that. That's a great thing about PyCharm, that it completes your coding, all right? But you have to be careful because, you know, in the future, when you do operators and other stuff, you will have different uh, lines of code. So, all right, you'll understand later. Okay, so the first thing is when you put the 3 quotations, it means that this comment could be 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. You could even start a letter with this, all right? Or you could just send, I don't know, whatever. Hello, Pedro. We are having a party tonight. Would you join us? All right. So in this case, the comment could be longer. Okay. This is in case you have to really explain something to the detail, or you know, you have to have communication with the other developers. So now you know that you have 2 lines of code. All right. So that would be it for our first video. Si les gustó el video, háganle o denle un thumbs up, dedito para arriba o subscribe. ¿Ok? Muchas gracias. Hasta la próxima.